Good morning, good morning. Big Weir, road-to-rooter.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. I've been saying for a while now, last couple of weeks, that the conspiracy side is saying the takedowns are going to happen. The Washington pedophile ring, global pedophile ring, is going to be taken down. I've been saying there's a fight between the good guys and bad guys for I can't tell you how long. But there is, and it's coming out into the open. The first part of the takedown was Los Angeles, the media. That will increase in the number of people and the severity of the allegations, because this is much bigger than sexual harassment. Much bigger than rape. Much bigger. So the same thing has started in Washington, D.C. Yes, finally. It's going to hit, from what I hear, it's going to hit New York, Chicago, and I heard Dallas as well. There's a big issue there. And Arkansas, obviously. So expect it to come down. Supposedly 1/3 of the Congress is involved. I don't know if 1/3 of Congress will have to step down, which is a huge deal. But the sealed indictments, I absolutely believe that's true all over the nation. And it is happening. This is the storm. Anyway, here's an article. Secrecy surrounds sexual harassment settlements in Congress. State government's practice of spending taxpayer funds to settle sexual harassment lawsuits against legislators and staff has created an uproar in California's legislature and other state houses around the country. Now are pictures emerging of how the U.S. Congress is doing the same thing, with less fanfare and less transparency. Democratic Representative Jackie Spear of Hillsborough said Wednesday that over 20 years, Congress has settled 260 complaints of workplace discrimination at a cost to taxpayers of this country of $15 million, reiterating a figure she quoted on NBC Tuesday. But it's unclear how many of those complaints were related to sexual harassment versus racial or other forms of discrimination, because Congress doesn't release the information, nor is it subject to Freedom of Information Act requests. Why isn't Congress subject to Freedom of Information Act? Don't they work for us? Spear had a handful of other Democrats and Republicans in the House and Senate are making a push to make information public as part of a new legislation unveiled Wednesday. Ooh boy, can you imagine what they'd have on Joe Biden? I'll bet you he's the king of on the list, the number one member of the government that has been charged with sexual harassment. Keep an eye on Joe Biden, I'm telling you. So yeah, that's what's going on, and it's just going to get more and more ugly. Here is Jackie Spear, whatever her name is. And this is nothing about it felt right. More than 50 people described sexual harassment on Capitol Hill. We've been talking about this for a long time. And this is just the beginning. Just like the allegations in Hollywood. First it was sexual harassment, then it was inappropriate touching, then it was rape. And very soon it's going to get to the real darker things about what's going on with the elite. And it is a gigantic pedophile ring. People are bought and sold. People are murdered. It is ugly as can be. And this is what is draining the swamp means. I do hear that it's 1/3 of Congress. Not 1/3 of Congress will get indicted, but 1/3 of Congress has been involved in anything from pedophilia to the ritual sacrifice to treasonous dealings. Uranium One is just kind of the thing people are talking about now, and there's dozens of people, high level people within the Obama administration who, the word is they were set up by Putin. Putin and maybe even Putin and the good guys, I would assume, said, "Hey, we gotta end this," and Russia has all the dirt on them. I'm sure Russia's turned it over to Trump. The word is Trump and Putin had a secret meeting when Trump was in Asia, and they agreed not to, whatever the deep state says, they are not going to go to war with each other. They're going to battle the deep state as a team. which is great. And I believe that all the time, along with China. So you get Russia, China, and the United States together, and then that's the kind of power that can unroot and remove the deep state. And a lot of them need to go to jail. So these sealed indictments all around the country, I'm hearing it's over 1,000 now, sealed indictments against high level, very high level people within Washington, within state government, within media, within banking. It's all coming down. This is the swamp draining that Trump has been saying all along. And where they get the proof and the information is the NSA. The NSA basically watches over the CIA. The NSA steals every single telecommunication, internet, email. They have it all. They have all the information. And the word I am getting from one of my sources is that it was all in raw data within the NSA. They have everything. And it was a matter of going through the things that, all of Clinton's emails, like every single one of them, all of Clinton's phone conversations, all of Joe Biden's phone conversations, all of John McCain's phone conversations, all of the Bush's phone conversations, and emails and texts and calendars and you name it, and bank accounts everywhere in the world. They can't run. They cannot hide. They're being taken down. The swamp is being drained. It's going to get really ugly in Congress when the real allegations come out. I do think they will be announcing who the biggest offenders are, who paid out settlements within Washington, D.C. They should do it at every state level too, especially in California. Just because California is California. Free love type of thing. They never left the 60s. I live in California. It's a crazy place. But we're going to see some very interesting announcements. And this is just the beginning. Remember in LA, it was, they started with the low level traffickers, the child traffickers, the human trafficking, and then it got to sex slaves and pedophilia, and it's jumping up the chain. Same thing's happening in Washington right now. This just opens the door. And the people are now demanding who got paid out, because we're paying these settlements to people for congressmen who are, a little dirty, very dirty. I would say if it got to the settlement area, it means whoever was the accuser had a lot of dirt on certain congressmen, and they wanted to sweep it under the rug. So if we have a list of who has been paid off and who made allegations, that opens the floodgates to everybody say, okay, Joe Biden or whoever it happens to be, please explain what happened. Why did you settle, settle with 5 people who claimed that you sexually harassed them? And then it gets to the really ugly and dirty stuff. And that's what we need to do. And these indictments need to be laid down. And it's happening so fast. That's the other thing. Very quickly, and because once the floodgates open, everybody starts talking. When everybody starts talking, that's when the exposure happens. And we're seeing it. So get ready. It's going to be a crazy rest of the year. We got a month and a half left. And I'm going to do an update on some of the cryptos a little later, but mainly in the Friday road trip, I'll be talking about the 10 that I suggest people must-owns for the future. We're buying the Googles and the Facebooks of the future, and Amazons. Those are the companies that I'm dealing with. I'm going to add 5 more. I have added 5 more. Just working on the write-up for them, doing a lot of research for that, and if you're interested, go to roadtoroota.com. Sign up for the free emails, and then check out the subscription page if you're interested in getting your hands on these 15 must-have cryptos. And these are both cryptocurrencies and crypto companies. I'll also be writing about what I think the future of Bitcoin Cash is. I think it's a great buy right now, by the way. And that's it. This is Bix Weir, roadtoroota.com. That is your Monday Horn of Z's. No, it's not Monday. Thursday Horn of Z's. I'll talk to you later.